Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. Now pray for the soul of this explorer. It's time for 31 Days of Horror. Hello again, Terence McGuana here, and welcome back to my 31 Days of Horror. And on tonight's episode I'm going to talk about an absolute peach of a film, Near Dark from 1987. Caleb Colton meets a young drifter named May who turns him into a vampire, and they both become involved with a nomadic gang of vampire outlaws. What a great film this is. I remember the first time I seen it, it was in the mid-90s or something, it was on television, and it just took me by surprise. I'd never heard of it before, and you know, I knew some of the cast members, Lance Henriksen and Bill Paxton. I'd recognised them, and Tim Thomerson, of course, from the Dollman movies and Trancers. I recognised him, and I just was like, what is this film? It just had so much atmosphere, something that is sorely lacking in most horror films, and I've been moaned at all the way through this event, right? That there's just a sheer lack of atmosphere, and Near Dark has it in absolute buckets, right? It's such an incredible film. The main actor, Adrian Pastar, I remember he turned up in Heroes, you know, what was that, 20 years later or something, but I don't see much of this actor, and he was really compelling as Caleb, the main character. That's right, Caleb, that's his name. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And the cinematography in this one, even from the opening shot, I've always loved the opening shot in Near Dark, where you get a close-up of a mosquito sucking blood, you know, then it cuts to Caleb with his cowboy hat, so you get that whole western environment straight away, but also just the idea that this is about bloodsuckers, this film. And I would honestly argue that Near Dark is the absolute best vampire movie ever, right? Honestly, I know a lot of people praise the sort of gothic ones. I do like Interview with a Vampire, right? I do really like Interview with a Vampire. I remember seeing it in the cinema, and it blew me away. But nothing prepared me for Near Dark. Near Dark just has such a great tone all the way through the film. It's just, whereas, you know, John Carpenter's Vampires movie is set in Mexico. It's got that sort of Wild West kind of look about it, right? That just felt kind of old-fashioned. Whereas Near Dark it looked like something I'd never seen before. And whether it still absolutely holds up, right? It absolutely holds up. One thing I think it handles better than any film about vampires is when Caleb transforms into a vampire. It's a confusing sort of situation that he's going through. No one's there to give him that sort of, oh, you're a vampire now, Michael. There's none of that, right? He's got to figure it out for himself in parts, and that's quite frightening. The idea that you've changed into this creature and you have no idea what's happened to you. At least with Blackula, he got some idea, you know. Well, he had 200 years to sit in his coffin and think about it, I suppose. But this character, there's this part I remember where he's just walking into this sort of petrol station or bus station, and it just feels so haunting. This film I don't know why, I don't know how they managed to pull this off, but it must have taken so much skill and craftsmanship to really put this film together. And Catherine Bigelow is one of the best directors that is working today, right? And it's a shame you don't see enough from her. She is definitely one of the best directors around. I love Point Break. Point Break is pure style, right? That film has got so much style, and the way it did, the action scenes in Point Break were just absolutely perfect. I know it's cheesy and dopey in places, but you know, when they tried to remake it, and I mean tried, right? They got an F for trying in my book, but yeah, Point Break was absolutely brilliant, and I've got a real soft spot for Zero Dark 30, to be honest. I know that you could say, oh yeah, it's propaganda, that film's propaganda, but you know, if you're going to get military assistance on any film, then it's going to be propaganda. I'm getting sidetracked again. Let's get back to Near Dark. Now, obviously the major centrepiece to Near Dark is the barroom scene. That whole barroom scene is absolutely terrifying. Yeah, that is actually terrifying. And to see Bill Paxton being frightening, that that actually frightened me at the time. When I saw Near Dark for the first time, and I was well familiar with Bill Paxton from Weird Science and Apollo 13 and, you know, Aliens, all those films, right, that he's appeared in. I could run off a whole gamut. True Lies, right? The guy's amazing, right, and he's been in so many great films. And to see him playing a real vicious killer like that was really frightening to me, because I don't know, just there was something about Bill Paxton that always seemed like he was doing it with a wink. You know, everything was a bit of a joke to this guy when he was, you know, when he had that sort of personality that he had. And when you've seen that being, you know, applied to being this evil killer vampire. Tim Thomerson, he was sort of left in all the sort of B movies and the straight to video Trancers 2, Dollman, all that kind of stuff, right? It was good to see him in a really good part in a really good movie. And I'm not dissing those B movies, they're B movies, but Near Dark is an absolute A picture, and there's so many amazing sequences in it. That whole part with the bullets flying in and all the light coming through and they're all getting burnt and stuff, that's just never been matched. If you've never seen Near Dark, you are going to be absolutely shocked by how amazing this film is. I guarantee that. I absolutely guarantee that Near Dark is gonna rock your world, just like it did mine on television. You know, and I feel so envious of you, right? Because you get to watch it on a big Blu-ray, a big screen on a Blu-ray or something like that. And if you are even luckier, you might get to go and see it in the cinema one day at a nice screening somewhere. I am so envious you get to see it for the very first time. Honestly, I just chomped the bit about this film all night long, right? But I'm not gonna, because I need to go. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to subscribe to the channel, hit the subscription button. I'll be back tomorrow with another horror movie. Have a great evening. Cheery bye.